What's up, everybody? I really want to thank you for all the love and support on the last video. That was really cool. But today what I want to talk about is obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and what that can look like for a person with OCD. And what OCD is a lot of the times people think that OCD is just washing your hands or, keeping your desk super organized. And for a person who's got OCD, it can go much further than that, and it can really take up, hours, days, and even weeks with these obsessions with really no break. So what OCD is what will happen is a person will get triggered in their everyday life about some sort of obsession that they have that is tied into their OCD. And they'll have this trigger and they'll start to have an obsession. Then their anxiety will spike and they'll go through these compulsions and rituals to mitigate that anxiety and make themselves feel safe again. And all they're really doing is reinforcing that loop of, I have an obsession, I get the anxiety, I do the things and the compulsions to make my anxiety go away, and now I'm right back here, ready for an obsession. And what that's doing is teaching the brain that there really was a danger here, and we will continue to alarm him about these things and these obsessions all day, every day, even at times becoming super irrational about these fears. But what happens is a person with OCD, they will know that these fears are irrational, but the physiological response that they get inside their body is so strong and so real, as if there's actually this type of life or death danger in front of them. And that's what forces them, even though that they know that it's not rational, this physiological factor, it almost forces them to move into these compulsions to make themselves feel safe again. And that's when treatment needs to come into play. So for example, somebody with OCD might be driving to work and they might hit a bump and it might startle them, and then they'll get to work and they'll start to think, well, what if I ran somebody over, and maybe I hit a jogger, and even worse, what if that jogger had a baby? So they'll start to ruminate about this until the point where maybe they'll even get in their car and they'll drive all the way back home, and they'll look in the ditches, they'll look on the side of the roads just to kind of make sure that they didn't hurt anybody. And you can imagine that could be super anxiety ridden. So there's a treatment for OCD called exposure response prevention, and I'm going to talk about that in other videos. And what that is exactly what it sounds like. You expose yourself to the thing that gives you the obsession and the anxiety, then you prevent yourself from responding to it, because what you want to teach your brain is that I know you're giving me the obsessions and these anxieties and this physiological response, but there's really no danger there. So in order to break that loop we were talking about, you have to learn to fight those compulsions. And like I said, for a person with OCD, that can be very, very difficult. So if you are having issues like that, I definitely recommend, getting into treatment, but finding the right type of treatment for OCD, because a lot of doctors will treat your anxiety, but not the underlying issues on why you're having the anxiety, which is the obsessions and the compulsions. So we'll talk about that in different videos. I hope you guys maybe gathered a little bit of information from this one, and I'll see you next time.